BonerCoinToken's life advice hotline. We're here for you. We're here for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BonerCoinToken's Life Advice Hotline, where Dick Fore teaches you how to win at life and also at absolutely everything by dominating all of it. What's on today's agenda of mastery? It's the most basic of human functions, taking a piss. Yeah, you heard that right. Because if you can't even own the room when your fly's open and you're holding your head up high for everyone to see, you sure as hell aren't going to own anything else. This episode isn't for the weak, the timid, or the faint of heart. No, this is for the men who are ready to take control of every aspect of their lives, especially establishing and maintaining control of the men's bathroom. And not just one men's bathroom, every men's bathroom that you grace with your presence. You want to know why most guys never get ahead? It's literally because they are too afraid to assert themselves at the urinal. As a side note, I want to remind you that you are listening to the BonerCoinToken Life Advice Hotline, and so that means you are on the BonerCoinToken YouTube channel. It's not that hard for you to like, subscribe, and push the little bell thingy. Also, go watch everything else we have as we put content out almost on the daily. Also, comment on everything you love, which is most likely everything. Thanks for being here and wanting to better yourself through the content we share. Now, before we dive in, let me remind you who you're listening to. You're listening to Dick Fore, a man who once walked into a bathroom, turned the entire place into a social hierarchy, and walked out with 2 phone numbers, a business deal, and an offer to guest speak at a conference, while the other guys were still zipping up. Yeah, that's the level we're talking about here. Because, you see, for Dick Fore, dominance isn't just something you put on in the boardroom or the bedroom. It's a 24/7 lifestyle. When I step into a restroom, I command the space like I own it, and you know why? Because it's what's required to avoid chaos from erupting on the side of the dominant gender. And let me tell you, when I walk out, everyone else in there knows damn well they were in the presence of greatness. They were all blessed to be touched by a dick that has experience touching guys all around the world. This dick right here is always an inspiration to everyone in every encounter. Here's the deal, boys. Urinals aren't just for taking a piss or relieving the pressure. No, they're the front line of social warfare. That little divider, that's the only thing separating you from the competition. And if you're not asserting dominance in that moment, you might as well be sitting down to pee. Let me be clear, if you're just standing there minding your own business, hoping to get out of there without any interaction, you've already lost. The urinal is a stage. You are the star, the protagonist, and the antagonist. Because this is what we are talking about. As soon as you enter that tiled battleground, you have to be everything to everybody. Everyone in that room is an extra in the grand show that is your life. Simply put, everyone around you, all of them in front of you and in your peripheral, they are all non-player characters who just don't matter. At least this is how you must view them, and if you don't walk away feeling like you own them and own the place, then you're a pathetic excuse for a man. Let's be honest, you're either alpha or you're nothing, and that starts from the moment you step through the bathroom door. I can already hear the weaklings out there whining, but Dick, it's just a bathroom. No, it's not just a bathroom. It's a place where legends are made. Every time you unzip, it's a chance to prove your worth. What you don't realize is that the guy next to you is sizing you up, deciding whether or not you're worthy to stand beside him. And if you stand there like a scared little boy, avoiding eye contact, praying for it to be over, you've already lost the game, and you have already lost at life. The term for that is loser. So, what are you? Are you a dominating situation, controlling legend of the bathroom? Because if your answer is anything other than yes to that question, then again, enter the stall with 4 walls so you can sit down and piss. Just walk into the bathroom and head straight for the safety of the door with a non-working lock and empty wall-hanging box of seat covers. If that's how you're going to act, then I'm sure you brought your own seat covers anyway. In fact, I'm positive you did, and every other male in that room can tell that too, just by looking at you. Guaranteed, you have disposable toilet seat covers in that European man bag that you carry with you everywhere you go. In my day, we called that a purse. And you found it in the women's fashion sections. All right, before we go any further, let's hear from one of our listeners. This poor bastard is clearly in desperate need of guidance, and honestly, I'm not surprised. Most of you out there are probably pissing yourselves right now just thinking about the pressure of standing next to a real man like Dick Fore. Let's play the voicemail from a guy who's so out of his depth, he might as well be wearing floaties in the shallow end.
Hey, Dick Fore. I've been listening to your podcast for a while, and I'm a big fan. I've got a real problem that's been bugging me, though. Every time I walk into a public restroom, especially when I have to use a urinal, I get super uncomfortable. I never know where to stand, whether I should say something, or if I should just keep my head down and get out as fast as I can. The silence feels awkward, and I can't tell if it's weird to make eye contact or start a conversation. How do I navigate this without making it awkward or looking like an idiot? Thanks. Confused in the stall.
Oh boy, confused in the stall. Let me tell you something right now. You've already failed, and it's clear from your message that your name is most likely Simon or Greg, so stop trying to hide your name shame. You don't navigate a urinal encounter. You own it. You're talking about feeling uncomfortable. Buddy, you're not just uncomfortable, you're pathetic. Let's break this down. You don't know where to stand? It's a urinal, not an actual minefield, just a metaphorical one, and that's not to be confused with a battleground. The bathroom is, in fact, a real battleground. You're not going to explode if you choose the wrong one. Though I guess someone as timid as you might be so spineless, you'd still find a way to screw up where to stand at a urinal. If you're keeping your head down at the urinal, you're basically telling the world, I'm a beta male. Yeah, I said it. Own that because that's what you are. You think real men keep their heads down? Hell no. Let me be very clear here because this is going to save your pathetic life one day. You don't ask for permission to dominate, you just always dominate. You walk in like you own the place, you pick the best damn urinal, and you make sure everyone else knows who the alpha is. Head down, you might as well walk in there and sit on the floor while you're at it. Let's not even start on the idea of being too scared to make eye contact. Look, if you're standing next to me and you don't have the guts to look me in the eye, you've already admitted defeat. Might as well take yourself home because there's no way you're coming back from that. Hell, I could probably stand next to you and make you so uncomfortable by the sheer aura on my manhood that you'd piss on your shoes. So, confused in the stall, aka Greg, here's your first piece of advice. Stop being a coward. And I don't mean that in the metaphorical sense, I mean it literally. Your fear of a damn bathroom is pathetic, and it's probably bleeding into every other part of your life. I bet you're the kind of guy who gets to a four-way stop and waves every other car through, and you justify that as being courteous. Stop lying to yourself, you do it because you're too scared to take the lead. Let me guess, you stand at the bar, clutching your drink like it's the only thing keeping you upright, praying no one talks to you because you can't handle the pressure. But that's exactly why Dick Fore is here, to turn girls like you into men who actually know how to hold themselves in public. So here we go. Rule number 1, you always break the silence at the urinal. Let's get one thing straight, gentlemen. Silence is weakness. Silence is what you do when you're hoping no one notices how small you really are. If you're standing at a urinal, mouth shut, staring straight ahead like you're afraid of seeing something you shouldn't, you've already proven how beta you really are. In fact, you're so beta that we have to put you out of the B's and into the C's. You're a CETA. When Dick Fore walks into a restroom, silence evaporates. Why? Because I don't wait for someone else to make the first move. Hell no, I walk in there like I own the place and start talking. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. What matters is that I'm the one who's in charge. I'm the captain now. Most of you are probably thinking, but Dick, isn't it weird to talk at the urinal? No. What's weird is standing there scared while waiting for someone else to take charge. The second you open your mouth, you've taken control. The other guy next to you, he's probably praying you stay silent because the second you speak, you're proving to him what he already knows and constantly lies to himself about. He's nothing. You know what I say? Anything, because what I say doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm the one who's leading the conversation that matters. I've had entire conversations about the smell of air freshener in a bathroom and still walked out of there knowing I was the alpha, and all the betas left behind knew it too. Let's talk conversation starters, shall we? You could go classic with, how's it going over there? Or, if you really want to throw the guy off, say something like, "You're looking real solid today, man." Watch him freeze up. He won't know whether to be flattered or terrified, and that's exactly what you want. That is exactly where you want him, because once you've got him second-guessing himself, you've already won. And don't give me that BS about "isn't it weird to talk at the urinal?" No, it's not weird. What's weird is standing there hoping no one notices you. That's what makes you weak. Talking makes you strong. Talking makes you alpha. Talking is what makes you dominant. Hell, you could start talking about the weather for all I care. What matters is that you're in control of the moment. You're setting the tone. And once you've set that tone, the rest of the room is yours. Okay, you're on track to become the alpha, so what's the next step? Well, that's rule number 2. Compliment the other guy's stance. Now, this one is where we separate the men from the girls. Most of you spineless cowards are too busy staring straight ahead, scared to death of making any kind of connection with someone at the urinal. But Dick Fore isn't just there to take a piss. He's there to dominate. And let me tell you something, boys. A real man doesn't just focus on his own performance. No, he's checking out the competition. He's always evaluating the guy next to him, taking in every detail. You're probably too scared to even glance sideways, but not me. I'm looking at your stance. I'm taking note of your posture. And once I've sized you up, I'm going to do something that will blow your mind. I'm going to compliment you. That's right, you compliment the other guy's stance. You want to throw him off his game. Tell him he's looking real solid. Say something like, "Man, you've got great posture. I can tell you've done this before." Watch him start to sweat. He'll be so caught off guard that he won't know how to respond. And that's exactly where you want him. Compliments disarm the weak. They don't know what to do with praise in such a standard and unremarkable situation. But here's the thing. It's not really about making him feel good. No, it's about establishing control, taking away any sense of personal value and destroying any mindset regarding any form of self-esteem that he falsely and undeservingly enjoys. When you're the one doling out compliments, you're in charge. You've taken the high road and are skillfully exerting your alpha role. Now, let me give you some advanced tactics. If the guy next to you is standing like he's never been at a urinal before, legs too close together, hunched over like he's about to fold in on himself, that's your cue. Hit him with, "Hey man, strong stance. Keep it up, you're doing great." It's backhanded as hell, but that's the point. He'll be wondering if you're actually complimenting him or if you're passively mocking him. And that uncertainty will eat him alive. He'll spend the rest of the week replaying that moment in his head, wondering if he's good enough. And guess what? He's not. He'll never be because he's up against Dick Fore. And while you begin to apply these concepts to your own bathroom battles, that loser will be up against you too. But losers like that limp noodle who stands funny and probably would normally just drop pants and underwear down to his ankles to piss at a urinal are not the only type of competition wandering the bathrooms of the world. The opposite side of the spectrum exists, the overconfident prick who's standing there like he's about to take a victory lap around the bathroom, legs too far apart, chest puffed out like he's king of the world. Everything about him says he knows there is a hierarchy and he's trying his best to ensure that he's number one. But guess what? There is no number one around Dick Fore, because there can be only one. It's a Highlander world we enter when we brave a men's public restroom. And destroying every other male in each bathroom allows you to absorb what little power they carried. This poser is asserting himself at his maximum capacity. That's when you hit him with something subtle but devastating. Solid stance, man. But remember, it's not just about how wide you spread. It's about control. Watch him deflate. You've just dismantled his ego with a single line. And that's the magic of Dick Fore's compliment technique. It's not about building him up. It's about reminding him who the real alpha is. Moving on, and here's where most of you fail miserably. It's rule number 3. Always make eye contact. You're so afraid of looking at another man while you're pissing that you might as well be wearing horse blinders. But let me tell you something, boys. Eye contact is power. When you make eye contact at the urinal, you're sending a message that says, "I'm not afraid of you, and I'm definitely not afraid of myself." And the best part? The guy standing next to you won't know how to handle it. He'll feel so exposed that he might as well tuck and run. But you can't just let him go like that. You still have to absorb his bathroom Highlander power. Now, most of you are probably thinking, but Dick, isn't it awkward to make eye contact while I'm holding my junk? My answer, only if you're a weakling. Dick Fore doesn't give a damn about awkward. Awkward is for males who are afraid of confrontation. You see, when I step up to the urinal, I don't just relieve myself, I assert myself. I wait until the other guy is midstream, fully focused on his own performance, and that's when I strike. I turn, I lock eyes, and I don't look away. And I'm here to tell you, the look on their face is priceless. They aren't just looking back, they are begging you to spare them. They're standing there, vulnerable, holding what should be their pride, and all of a sudden, they realize they're in the presence of superior masculinity. Here's the thing about eye contact. It's not just about staring the other guy down. No, it's all about psychological warfare. When you make eye contact midstream, you're saying, I see you, and I'm not afraid of you. And you know what that does to most men? It destroys them. They don't know what to do. Their confidence shatters. They look away. They fumble with their zipper. They start sweating. I've pressured guys so hard by simply looking at them that they cut their piss short and left the bathroom because they couldn't handle the pressure of Dick Fore's gaze. And that's the kind of power you want to wield. But let me give you the finishing move that should always accompany eye contact, the nod. After you've held that eye contact for a few seconds, give them a slight nod. Not a big, exaggerated one. Just a subtle, slow nod, like you're acknowledging their presence. It says, yeah, I see you, but I'm not impressed. It's like giving them permission to exist in the same space as you, but only because you're feeling generous. That nod will stay with them for the rest of the day and probably the rest of their lives. They'll never forget the day they stood next to Dick Fore at the urinal and got the nod of dominance. You listeners need to always be working toward becoming like Dick Fore. Okay, rule number 4. Give yourself and others a pep talk. You think quiet confidence is the key to success. That's just what the government wants you to think. It's a form of mind control to keep the sheeple at bay. Real confidence isn't silent. It's loud, it's proud, and it makes sure everyone in the room knows who's in charge. When I step up to the urinal, I don't just stand there in silence like the rest of you beta boys. No, I talk myself up because there's no point in being great if no one knows about it. Self-affirmation isn't just for yoga classes and self-help books. A little-known fact is that self-affirmation started in the realm of urinals. When you're at the urinal, you need to be your own biggest fan. You think I just stand there quietly taking care of business? Hell no. I'm giving myself a pep talk. I'm saying, you've got this, Dick. Nobody handles a urinal like you do. And yeah, I say it out loud. You know why? Because real confidence doesn't care about what anyone else thinks. Real confidence makes sure everyone around you knows exactly who you are. When you start talking yourself up, the other guys in the room have no choice other than to feel inferior. They're going to hear you and think, damn, I wish I had that kind of self-assurance. But they never will because there can be only one Dick Fore. But here's the real power move. Don't just hype yourself up. Hype up the guy next to you too. That's right. Start giving him a pep talk. Say something like, you're doing great, man. Keep it steady. Or nice form. I can tell you've been working on this. It'll mess with his head. He won't know whether to be flattered or humiliated. That's the beauty of it. You're not just confident in yourself, you're confident enough to boost the competition because you know no one's ever going to come close to your level. And let's be real, you're not doing it to be nice. You're doing it to remind him that he's beneath you. You're the king of the restroom, and everyone else is just pissing in your shadow. I once gave a guy so much encouragement at a urinal that by the time I was done, he was practically in tears, thanking me for helping him through the most intense bathroom experience of his life. That's what it means to be Dick Fore. You don't just piss, you inspire. And for all you listeners, all you little aspiring dicks, you must always be inspiring while simultaneously destroying. It's a ballet, and you need to master the steps. Something else to master. Well, that's rule number 5. Get control and get over your stage fright. The great equalizer of weak men. You're standing there, your joy in hand, and all of a sudden nothing's happening. Your body's betraying you. You're too scared to perform in front of another man, and now you're frozen. You're thinking, what if he hears? What if I can't go? Congratulations, you've just failed the most basic test of masculinity. But don't worry, Dick Fore is here to save you from that. But don't thank me yet, I'm only saving you so that I can destroy you myself one day. Stage fright at the urinal is for the weakest of the weak. It's for men who can't handle the pressure. And let me tell you something. If you can't perform at the urinal, how the hell do you expect to perform in the real world? You think CEOs freeze up at the urinal? Hell no. They walk in, unzip, and handle business like it's a diamond-handed victory lap. They hit that urinal with a stream so hard and so confident that it cracks the porcelain or dents the steel. And that's exactly what you need to do. Here's the key to beating stage fright. Own it. Don't hide from it. Acknowledge it. Say it out loud if you have to, like this. Dick Fore doesn't feel pressure. Dick Fore creates pressure. You see, the moment you speak it into existence, you're in control again. You've flipped the script. Now you're not the guy who's too nervous to piss. You're the guy who's so confident, he can talk about it without flinching. And guess what? The guy next to you is starting to crumble. He's going to hear you owning your inferiority, and he's going to realize that he's not even in the same league as you. And here's the thing. Stage fright doesn't just happen at the urinal. It happens everywhere. In meetings, on dates, in front of your boss. If you let it get to you here, you're going to let it get to you everywhere. That's why you need to beat it at the urinal, because once you've beaten it there, you can beat it anywhere. I once had a guy come up to me after a meeting and say, Dick, ever since I started using your urinal techniques, my whole life has changed. And you know what? I wasn't surprised. I wasn't even impressed, because that's the kind of power we're talking about here. All right, you've broken the silence, complimented the stance, made eye contact, given yourself and others a pep talk, and handled the pressure like a studded champion. Now it's time to leave. Entering here is rule number 6. Make your grand exit. You don't just walk out like everyone else, zipping up and scurrying away like a helpless NPC. No, you leave the bathroom like you've just won a war. Because you have. Let me be clear. How you exit the bathroom is just as important as how you entered it. You don't just slip out unnoticed. That's for the guys who are hoping no one saw them in the first place. You exit with swagger, with confidence, and with the knowledge that everyone else in that room is going to remember you, knowing they will start to talk about you after you leave. You don't even need to know what they are saying, because whatever mortal words they are able to compose cannot possibly begin to touch the immortal dominance that they simply can't wipe off. I make my exits legendary. One time, I walked out of a bathroom so confidently that 2 guys who were waiting in line applauded. They didn't know what they were clapping for. They just knew they had witnessed something great. I don't expect anything more than that, coming from 2 so-called men who are so afraid of greatness that they allow themselves to be humiliated by standing in line. That's the power of a Dick Fore exit. You don't just leave, you leave a legacy. Here's how you can attempt it. First, don't rush. Take your time. Zip up slowly. Look around the room. Make eye contact with whoever's still in there. Let them know that you've just dominated. Then throw out a parting line. Something like, another flawless performance from Dick Fore. Or if you're feeling generous, you boys take care. Dick Fore has a world to conquer. And as you walk out, make sure you're standing tall. Shoulders back, chest out. You're not just leaving the room. You're making a statement. You're letting everyone in that room know that they've just been in the presence of greatness. And trust me, they'll feel it. They'll remember it. They'll be talking about it for the rest of the day, and they will crave it. They will have recurring dreams or nightmares of when they may encounter Dick Fore again. When Dick Fore exits a bathroom, he leaves behind a wake of intimidation and admiration. The weaklings in there will look at each other, confused, trying to figure out how they can possibly match what they've just seen. But they never will, because there's only one Dick Fore, and there can be only one Dick Fore, and once he leaves, that bathroom belongs to him forever. Now, I know what most of you are thinking at this moment. Dick, I tuned into this because it's the BonerCoinToken's life advice hotline, and all you did was destroy all who are not you. You think that's what I did? Wrong! I gave you a playbook, a great story, a hero named Dick Fore that is an inspiration and an example for you to strive to become. What transpired here is no different than the heroes of Greek mythology or the powerful gods of Egypt, except for one variance. All of that was fake, and Dick Fore is real. You take this podcast and you apply it hard in your life, and although you will never become like Dick Fore, you can learn to become okay with second place. I'm here for you, and BonerCoinToken Productions is here for you, so be here for us. Like and subscribe to our channel, and maybe, just maybe, when we cross paths on the field of the men's room battlefield, we might consider sparing you and allowing you to keep your power for a little longer. I'm Dick Fore with the BonerCoinToken's Life Advice Hotline, always here to lift you up and turn you out. Never forget that the deeper you go, the more shallow it gets. So until next time, which will probably be soon because these hotline voicemails are just sad, and the need of Dick Fore's expertise is solidified, I say to you, piss hard and stream straight.
BonerCoinToken's Life Advice Hotline, we're here for you. We're here for you.